Okay, the latest Man City news. We've got a big transfer update regarding Leroy Sane. It's one we're all getting fed up of hearing about, but this is some big news on that. And also we'll do a quick match report reaction to the 6-1 win against Kitchee in the pre-season friendly. Now, it's a really hot sweltering day again here in England, and I think it was in Hong Kong. Some of these pre-season friendlies out in the Far East have been a bit testing in terms of heat coming back. Now, one thing this match wasn't testing was the opposition. You know, a bit of a thrashing really. But let's have a look at the lineups, and I was quite surprised that Guardiola put quite a strong lineup up for this. But it's good to give those players a run out. We'll just run through it. There was Bravo in goal, Walker, Stones in the port. Could see them in central defence. I think he'll be relying on them a lot this year. Angelino, Gundogan, David Silva, De Bruyne, Sane, Bernardo Silva, and Sterling, and then obviously lots of the young lads on the subs bench. Now, the game started. It was a pretty one-sided game. Lots of City pressure. It was nice to see they move the ball a lot quicker in this game. Obviously, a better starting 11 really. Lots of chances, lots of goals. But like I say, pretty one-sided. I mean, the goals were David Silva 13 minutes, Leroy Sane on 40 minutes, Raheem Sterling 43 minutes, Leroy Sane again on 55. So you know, that's a little bit awkward for everybody at the moment. And then 2 goals by the young lads, Tuese on 80 minutes, grabbed a goal, and Pozo on 88 minutes. You know, it was nice to see the 2 young lads come on. Now, special mention to Kim Dongjin of Kitchee. He played the first 15 minutes of the game. He was subbed to a standing ovation. That's the end of his retired now 20-year professional career. And it was a really nice touch by Guardiola. He sort of shook his hand, handed him a shirt at the end, and all the City players, I think every City player congratulated him. So that was a really nice moment and a nice touch. Not a lot more to really gain from the game. It was a one-sided, and you know, I'm pretty sure it could have been 10-1 really. In terms of the highlights of the game, to me, David Silva is the biggest highlight. He is just a superb player. 33 years old. Really going to miss him in 12 months' time. That's going to be some big shoes to fill really by whoever he puts in that position. So that was the game. Not a lot to glean from it, but a good run out for everybody. Nice 6-1 win. On to the next one really. And now we'll have a look at that big transfer news regarding Leroy Sane. We all keep thinking this one is going away, but you know, even now the coach Niko Kovac has entered the fray, and this is what he said to Bild, the German media outlet. Our bosses have shown him a clear plan, obviously referring to Leroy Sane. We are very focused. Leroy knows what to expect here, and when a player with such capacity comes to FC Bayern, he knows his job. You can see that the transfer is not easy, but I know that our people are working very hard to make it happen. We will do everything to realise this transfer. We all know that Leroy Sane is our dream player. The public knows that. We know that. Now, that's you know, it's bordering on tapping up really, isn't it? And you know, I just had a quick look at the definition of tapping up. Now, tapping up in professional team sports, tapping up or tampering is an attempt to persuade a player contracted to one team to transfer to another team without the knowledge or permission of the player's current team. This kind of approach is often made through the player's agent. Now, I don't think it is tapping up, because it says without the knowledge or permission of the player's current team. Well, you know, Bayern Munich are not doing it without their knowledge. They're being as blatant as anything, and they are really stirring the pot. And it puts Guardiola in a really difficult position. And any other player, the fact that Leroy Sane is such a good player, any other player, I think, you know, he would have just wiped his hands of it and said, you're not going on the pre-season tour, you're not playing, sort yourself out. But Leroy Sane is such a special player that it's really put him in a difficult position. Now Guardiola has come back with the response. 2 times, 3 times I said we want him to stay. That's why he has an offer to extend his contract. It's not in our hands, Guardiola said. The agreement is good, and if he wants to leave, I'll be sad. Hopefully he stays. Now, he's also come out a few weeks ago towards the end of the season and said, look, I know we've got an issue with some players that they want to be in the starting lineup, but at Man City, they can't all be in the starting lineup, and that's the way it is, and it may well be there's players leave. Now, Leroy Sane is not one of those players he wants to leave. Now, Leroy Sane is not helping Man City and he's not helping Guardiola one bit. He's kept quiet. If he really wanted to sign that new contract with Man City, even if it was just still debating over the wages, and there's talk that it's sort of 200,000 a week, you think he'd come out and be on the side of his employers and say, look, it's very nice to have this speculation from Bayern Munich, but my focus is on Man City and I want to play at Man City, and we're working hard to get the contract sorted. But he hasn't. I mean, if you look at Toby Alderweireld with Tottenham, slightly different scenario, but he's come out and said, my focus is on Tottenham. I like the manager, I want to play for the manager, and I'm focusing on next season with Tottenham. And that really helps the manager and the club. But Guardiola's sort of caught in between Bayern Munich that side, the player that side, the fans this side, his bosses that side, and he's hemmed in, and really he's nowhere to go on this one. But really just let it run its course. Now, Leroy Sane, he's obviously looking at it and he's thinking, I've got players like Raheem Sterling, Aguero, Bernardo Silva ahead of me, and am I only going to get those less than 20 starts next year? And he's going to have that problem in most teams, most top teams. If he wants to play for a top team, whether it's Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham in this country, he's going to almost play second fiddle to their current members. Now, if he goes to somewhere like Real Madrid, Barcelona, he's not necessarily going to slot into a starting 11 there. He's going to have that same problem. So when you look at Bayern Munich with Aaron Robben and Ribéry leaving, he is going to get what he wants in terms of he's going to be their number one player, he's going to be on the starting lineup, and he's going to have a chance to shine. I think his problem is Bayern Munich isn't ideally where he would like to be, and it's probably, with all due respect to the Bundesliga, is probably not the best league out there. He wants to be in the Premiership, he wants to be starting most matches, but he isn't. So where is this one going to go? I feel he's really, to be honest, I know it's going to upset a lot of people, but I think he's sat in the Man City sold room with a big sold sticker on him already. His relationship with Guardiola was a little bit strained last year. I commented in videos, a few weeks ago that it didn't look good, the relationship between them. And can you see that improving with what's going on? Guardiola really looks like he's sick to death of this now. And like I say, he's hemmed in, nowhere to go. And he just needs some help from his player to say, look, this is where I want to play. And he's not getting that. So if Sane stays, he's such a good player that Guardiola can't just freeze him out. But, given the choice of do I play him or Sane, he's going to go with the other guy, I think, because, Guardiola doesn't mess about with players, even the big names. So I don't think it's a future long-term relationship there for Leroy Sane at Man City. And I think a lot of that is really down to him. So that's Leroy Sane. I think he's heading for the exit door. I sort of said that a few weeks ago. With Bayern Munich, they've obviously been in touch with him. They've obviously had discussions with his agent, and they've laid it all out there. No bid come in yet, but you can see what Bayern Munich are doing. They're just literally stirring the pot, increasing the pressure, and they're trying to get Leroy Sane to say, I want to come to Bayern Munich, I want to leave Man City. And I feel when a player does that, it lowers the selling price, because a club generally doesn't want to keep a player that doesn't want to stay, and it puts the negotiating power back in Bayern Munich's place. So I think that's why they haven't put a bid in yet. We'll wait and see what happens, but like I say, I think Leroy Sané's got a sold sticker on and he's waiting in the sold room to be picked up on that. Any other transfer news? Still no news on a central defender. I think if I was Pep Guardiola, I think I would bite the bullet on Leroy Sane now and say, you know, either accept the new contract or we're shipping you out, and I would invest that money into a top-class central defender. And if it means paying a little bit over the odds, I think that's probably the more important decision now. Obviously, Maguire's still available, although it's looking like Man United. Nathan Ake is one we've looked at, and I think, you know, if Maguire is heading towards Man United, let him go and concentrate on a player that really does want to come to Man City. So that central defender. Just a little update on Thiago Almada, the new Messi, the Argentinian young lad. That deal still hasn't happened. I think there's negotiating over the price, so that one still hasn't happened. So that's all the Man City news. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, if you'd like to like and subscribe below, appreciate any support you can give the channel, and thank you once again for watching the video.